Wow, what incredible news. Just when you think the MCU is in trouble, and it might be in some other areas. But wow, this is the new Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't believe how good this news is. Everyone involved needed it. I can't believe it. I mean, this is the kind of thing that we all live for. This is what keeps these franchises at the top of Hollywood and with nobody else able to touch them. This is incredible. And it's all thanks to Mr. Ryan Reynolds. It's interesting to see these actors slash businessmen kind of like take control of these franchises. You know, you see Dwayne Johnson doing that over at DC, trying to do that, and Ryan Reynolds doing just incredible moves over in the MCU. So I'm going to break it all down. We're going to talk about the history. We're going to talk about this new movie and the potential for what it could be. Tons of variants, I'm sure. A proper Foxverse goodbye. I can see it now. And just maybe it might introduce the MCU's own Wolverine. Oh my God, it's the perfect opportunity to do so. All right, so let's do this. And I'm excited to hear your own thoughts down below. So I've always said that Ryan Reynolds is a brilliant businessman. He even has his own advertising company that has won awards in the world of advertising. And he certainly is bringing his producing A-game to the table with Deadpool 3. He's not only making his first MCU movie, but he just shot right to the top of it. I hope he lit a fire under everybody else. Although, you know, it's interesting, Kevin Feige's giving Ryan Reynolds a lot of autonomy, whereas, you know, Kevin Feige is the only producer in the MCU. He makes everything, and he's the one who decides. But this is quite the injection of someone else's creative juices. That's a very Ryan Reynolds thing to say. We all wanted Deadpool kills the MCU, and we might still get that someday, because again, Ryan Reynolds is clearly being given a lot of creative control. But this is even better. This is so great. This is one of those things where it's like you didn't know you wanted it until you were told you were getting it, and then you're like, injected into my veins. It's incredible. Hugh Jackman back for Wolverine. One last time? We'll see. We'll see. Never say never. I mean, after he didn't show up in Multiverse of Madness, we all thought we'd have to wait until Secret Wars to see him again. Because, you know, Hugh Jackman has made it no secret that he would like to be in the MCU. You know, he said he was done after Logan, but how can he not have one jaunt through the MCU at the very least? So we thought it would be Secret Wars. And maybe he could still show up there. It would be very easy to do a pickup, even while they're maybe even filming this movie, to put him in there just a little bit. Although, is this where he should end? Should Deadpool say goodbye to all the other X-Men? I mean, the door will always be open forever because of variants, which is great because we like some of those castings quite a bit. Will any of them stick around? We keep thinking they're going to bring in all new people. I mean, this is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. Maybe it'll be a mix, which I think would be ideal. Could the X-Men be plucked from different multiverses to get our core group in the MCU? I'd be fine with that because I want some but others I don't want at all. So yes, so we're getting Hugh Jackman back even a year earlier with Deadpool 3, which has been announced today with these new details for September 6th, 2024, a date that Marvel just grabbed just a few weeks ago. You might recall they had all those release date announcements. They were like, oh yeah, we're putting a Marvel project in September 6th. And you're like, that's a weird date because it's the weekend after Labor Day weekend, where of course they successfully opened Shang-Chi during the pandemic. But come on, you could open a Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman Marvel movie any frickin' weekend you wanted. All right, so now let's talk about the history. It's beautiful. It's beautiful that Ryan Reynolds would bring Hugh Jackman into the MCU, as Hugh Jackman is the one who brought Ryan Reynolds into Marvel in the first place with that absolutely awful X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, which Jackman produced. Expect plenty of jokes about that. Perhaps even some revenge from Ryan Reynolds with one of the variants for Wolverine. I'm telling you, the jokes just write themselves. It's going to be fantastic. Also, Kevin Feige was there when Hugh Jackman joined Marvel in that X-Men movie. You know, that's where Kevin Feige started out working for Lauren Schuler Donner. Could Kevin Feige show up in this movie, Deadpool 3, with maybe a cameo? It would be fantastic. It would be hilarious, and Ryan Reynolds could get it done. I think Kevin Feige needs to be in this movie. Oh, I would love it. Anyway, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been friends ever since X-Men Origins Wolverine, interacting on social media with a fake feud and helping out each other's business ventures. They've really been there for each other, so it's great. They already have a great repartee established. Now, speaking of jokes, as I said, expect tons of variants and jokes about all the variants. I mean, Wolverine died in Logan. It was the future, I guess, but still, they have some splaining to do. Variants, time travel, both. But variants are also just too much fun, I would guess, for Ryan Reynolds to pass up having some fun with them. Not only would he and Hugh Jackman get to play many different variations of themselves, some of them could only last for just a few seconds for the sake of a joke, which I would have no problem with. But variants are also like robots. You can kill off a whole bunch of them and it's okay, which is something this movie would need. Oh, that's fantastic. As it is, Deadpool will be a variant, right? Entering the MCU from the Fox timeline. Can we get a Ralph Boner joke too? I would love that. I think you gotta have a Ralph Boner joke, and Ryan Reynolds knows that. Good for him. I am sure that Hugh Jackman will don the traditional Wolverine suit from the comics at one point. Kevin Feige is too much of a comics purist and loves that animated series, from the 90s. In my opinion, perhaps a bit too much. And it's also just too funny for Ryan Reynolds not to make Hugh Jackman wear that. But I think that he will not wear it for most of the movie. I just think it's too hard to translate that suit to live action, to be honest with you. It would be much better as a hilarious joke. But it would still give us everything that we wanted. I also wonder if with the multiverse and variants in play, we might meet some of the other X-Men from the Fox universe, either to say goodbye or maybe some of them will stick around. It would be nice to have not the final movie be, Age of Apocalypse, right? Right? Wouldn't that be nice? No, it wasn't even. It was the Dark Phoenix saga, which is so bad, I didn't even think of it right away. But I like Sophie Turner's agent should be on the phone right this minute because she was a good Jean Grey. But yeah, so that would be fun. I don't even know if I'd want Jennifer Lawrence back since she hated the role so much. Could they get Rebecca Romijn? That would make me so happy. Oh, I hope maybe they could. I think she could still do it. And then maybe, as I said, meet some of the MCU versions, introduce some of those, and at the very least, maybe introduce the MCU's main Wolverine going forward. Wouldn't it be great if Hugh Jackman could pass the baton, pass the torch on screen to this new actor? And it would help a lot with fans being okay with that change as well. Deadpool 3 will either wrap up Phase 5 or kick off Phase 6. It's positioned beautifully. And we'll also have Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and maybe Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in play for Secret Wars. I can't see them in Kang Dynasty, to be honest with you, but they're perfect, especially Deadpool for Secret Wars. And as much as I loved Logan, it made me cry multiple times. I think it's perfectly fine to bring Hugh Jackman back for what I am sure will be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. Like, as I said, Spider-Man No Way Home, levels of enthusiasm and accomplishment. And that really has set the bar, or raised the bar to a new level. And I think everybody now wants their own Spider-Man No Way Home. And that was what Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be, and it, of course, was not. But I think this movie is going to be that. I think this movie is going to be that. Oh, I'm so happy. I think Deadpool will finally join the $1 billion club, and with Logan successfully rated R, as the two Deadpool movies so far, and all three of them on Disney Plus now, I think now for sure I'm confident. I'm confident that Deadpool 3 will be rated R. Part of me is like, oh, it's so much money. It could maybe make $2 billion if it wasn't rated R. But I'd rather take a movie that the fans absolutely adore and where Wolverine can be Wolverine and slice and dice, and Deadpool can slice and dice, and they can swear. I'd rather have, because I think that would make $1 billion. That would still make $1 billion, maybe even a little bit more, because everyone loves Hugh Jackman so much as Wolverine. So I'll take the little bit of a loss for a movie that everyone just has so near and dear to their hearts. Sean Levy again directs, and after Free Guy, I'm totally cool with that. That worked out really, really well. So I think it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. What do you think? Share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.